President Trump's revised travel order bans visas for people from 6 predominantly Muslim nations. The redo of his last executive order, which was stopped in court, places a 4-month suspension on all refugee admissions to the United States so that, quote, security procedures can be improved. And it cuts the total number of refugees allowed into the country this year by more than half. So what happens to people who try to cross the border and are detained by immigration authorities? They're held at airports or sent to one of the 200 detention centers run by ICE and private contractors across the country. Places like county jails, hospitals, dorms, nonprofit shelters, and private prisons. Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal is newly elected from Washington State, Seattle area, proposed new legislation that focuses on the rights of detainees. Nice to have you with us this
Great
morning.
to be with you.
So you were very vocal when sort of Executive Order 1.0 that banned Muslims, people coming in from predominantly Muslim countries, 7 of them. How are you feeling about this redo that President Trump just announced?
It is Muslim ban 2.0. That's, I mean, really what we've seen the president do is pay a little bit of attention to some of the things that the court said. So he did exclude legal permanent residents. But the fundamental premise of the ban is still the same, which is it focuses on Muslim majority countries. And that is still going to be a problem in the courts. And, you know, and I think that the fundamental underlying notion that somehow we're making the country safer is still untrue. And you sort of see the administration acknowledging that when they dropped Iraq from the list.
So you've been also very vocal about detainees, 37,000 detainees a day. So
Correct.
how many people are detained right now in the United States around immigration issues?
400,000 a year, 37,000, as you said, a day at any given time. And
do you expect that to go up because of
it will
ISIS
absolutely go up.
actions?
Yes, because the Interior Enforcement Executive Order, which has not gotten quite as much attention as the Muslim ban, but honestly is equally or more draconian because it literally gives latitude to ICE agents across the country to round up anybody that is suspected of a crime,
So you've been
anybody that is charged but not convicted of a crime. So this is a very wide net, and I think what we're going to see is huge numbers of increases in these private detention centers. So this is a very lucrative business for these private prison companies.
Are they under the same regulations as those that are not private facilities?
Well, they're not because of the detention piece. So detention has very different standards than incarceration. And we think of detention differently, I think, in the public. You think of detention as somebody's just put for a short term in a holding facility. That's originally what immigration detention was supposed to be.
How long are they staying on average in a holding facility?
People have stayed there for years. Sometimes permanent residents have been in detention facilities for a very lengthy period of time. So a month is not unusual at all. And because of the backup in the immigration courts and the lack of judges in immigration courts, you can typically see people there for months on end.
You've proposed new legislation, and it has a number of points to it, but 2 things that I thought were the most interesting was, number 1, provide redress options through which counsel can communicate. So basically, they'll have access. People who are detained
Correct.
have access to counsel. The second point was shall include access to food, water, and restroom facilities. So let's start with counsel first.
Yes. Well, one of the things that people don't understand is that because the immigration system is a civil system, it's not a criminal system, you are not guaranteed a paid-for attorney. Now, you are supposed to be guaranteed access to counsel that you pay for or pro bono services. So 95% of people in the immigration system go through pro se without an attorney. Let's be clear, this does not provide for attorneys that are paid for by the public. This just says you're held and you get to have access to an attorney that you pay for. So it reaffirms that right.
Why did you have to write in access to food, water, and restroom facilities? That seems like that would kind of already exist, does it not?
It does not. And
they don't
again,
feed people in detention?
They do not always feed people when they were being held. You know, when the airport ban happened, the airport chaos happened after the ban, there were a lot of people who were being denied the opportunity to just get their food or water or go to the bathroom, even as they were being held. So this was a serious issue, but within detention centers as a whole, we have seen tremendous human rights abuses and there's very little oversight that happens with the detention centers. And you think about a population of 400,000 people who are being detained every year. This is clearly a system that needs at least as much oversight as we give within the jails.
Congresswoman Jayapal, thanks for joining us.
Thank you
really
so
appreciate
much.
it. You bet.